When you want to get off that darkest ground, the gravity pulls you straight down. Earth from a bird's eye view. You should grow feathers and see this too. When you want to get off the darkest ground, the gravity pulls you straight down. When you want to get off the darkest ground, the gravity pulls you straight down. Clear
Well, howdy, y'all. We are back, I think, you know? I mean, I hope we're here. Oh, man, it did. It took a little while tonight to get started, just about a half hour late. But hey, look at that. We're just on time for Morton Nielsen to get here, so yay. That's
And
what we
in
were...
the history of the movie nights, we're actually only about a few minutes short of being 10 minutes late to our 5-minute early start.
Exactly. Sure, whatever RJ just said.
What does that make you?
Well, we were obviously just waiting for Morton to get here so that he didn't feel like he was late. You know, that's obviously what it was. We did have 4 nakeds in the chat already tonight. So I do want to thank all the new people for showing up to our late show. You know, I'm sorry that your, you know, first show here is 40, you know, or half hour late at this point. But we made it. Had some issues at first where OBS did not want to start streaming. I got Boole in here to try to help me figure it out, and then all of a sudden it just clicked and I figured it out and got that working. And then finally...
You're just not wanting to go with my demon hypothesis.
No.
Damn.
Then had issues hitting the go live button in YouTube. So it's just been a hell of a night trying to get this thing started. But we're finally here. And I'm glad to be back.
We got some stupid.
We do. We have some stupid. And we have a panel tonight. Hello, panel.
Hey
So we have
A
a...
truncated panel.
We do. We have the truncated panel tonight. So let's go around and do our hellos. Let's start with Tornado.
Hello, how goes it all?
It is going, for sure. We also have with us tonight Bo.
Yo, yo. Hello.
Did you say yo-yo?
I was almost... Yeah, I did. I am a yo-yo. And I, on my walk this morning before the show tried to start, I was almost torpedoed by some bats. So now I have decided to make a bat detector, which is actually more simple and easy than you would think.
Do you have like a belfry that they're trying to get into?
No, I was just taking a walk, and apparently I got too close to their home or whatever. I don't know.
Okay.
So,
Make sure you
thankfully
get
I've got all the,
bats.
at least I've got all the hardware and so on at home to make a detector. So, just
The
need
bat detector.
a CD4040 chip and a couple of amplifiers and op amps and power supplies,
Batman.
resistors and stuff.
Sounds
So, yeah.
interesting. I remember,
Hi.
in relation to Bo's story, I remember when I was a small person. I mean, I'm still a small person, but a younger person.
That's better.
Yes.
When I was much smaller, I was maybe only like 8 or so at the time, 7 or 8. And
A couple of years ago. Okay.
I woke up in the
Right.
middle of the night and I go out to the kitchen to get a drink of water, and I look on the kitchen table and there's a little container with a small little furry animal in it. And I was very confused about it. I woke up my mom and Cy, and I was I said, "What the hell is on the table?" Apparently, a bat had ran into Cy's Jeep at the time, and he put it in a little box and brought it inside to rehabilitate it for the evening until it was able to fly again in the morning. So that was unfortunately a common occurrence, but I was quite surprised at that age to find some furry little animal in a box on the table. But bats are not evil. Bats are nice.
No, they're so cute, and they also
They are
have a
cute.
tendency to eat those annoying mosquitoes and other
Yeah.
insects.
They also
Exactly.
pollinate tequila and I think chocolate. So if
And
you like those, you
yeah,
better
and
like
rum, yep.
bats.
Oh, jeez.
And also, they don't make any noise that we can hear, at least.
Yeah.
So, not even when they fly. It's very hard to hear them. Even
Indeed.
when they fly into your home. Try that once.
Well, we're glad to have you here with us another week, Bo. We also have with us tonight RJ.
See if we regret it later.
I'll put my camera on to show that I'm not a simulation, because who the hell would simulate this? I mean, really.
It's still not out of the realm of possibility.
Well, I tell you, if they start getting down to the level of where I'm the standard of simulation, it's the end of civilization.
Well, thanks for coming again, RJ. And we also have Chris Kelling with us.
Good evening, and glad to be here. And yeah, I just want to take a little tour here of my setup at the museum. This is the last stream
that's
I'm
us.
going to be having with the with that poor little computer right there.
Getting all new
At least it's
equipment.
an Asus.
And that's a Pentium. It's a dual core, 2.4 gigahertz. I just
Pentium 4?
got my company that I work for to donate a bunch of computers to the museum, and so they are a lot newer, a lot better equipped to handle things like Zoom and stuff.
So
like
you
that.
finally decide to phase out the Babbage machine.
Yeah, well, I'm still going to use this one, but I probably not for the intense graphics programs that I've been using it for and stuff like that. So, but anyhow, I'm getting kind of excited about that.
Awesome.
So I figured I'd bring you guys in on my
The
stream
secrets
for a
of the secrets.
Yeah, that's definitely awesome. It's it should be nice to have some new equipment for sure. And then we have with us tonight Sean Hufford.
Hello.
Hello.
The dulcet tones.
The dulcet tones. How y'all doing tonight? I'm just chilling, getting off work, relaxing a bit.
Yeah. Don't
And then I
remind
come
me
here.
you're off tomorrow.
Has anybody in the room managed to actually see the damn comet?
Nope.
No.
No.
Too much light in my area. There's absolutely nothing on it. I've never seen any of the Perseids or anything like that. I hear
No.
tell there are actually celestial objects in the sky that do neat things, but I miss them.
Yeah.
And you live in an area where you can't just walk out the front door and look up.
No,
To
because
see
there's
those
way too
weird
many
things.
floodlights. There's a church just kitty corner that's got like, I think that's designed to illuminate the moon.
Right.
Well, hey, yes, I can see the Milky Way when I walk out my front door.
Ah, you damn
even
bastard.
With even with the street lighting on. However, since I live on the side of a fjord, yeah, I can't see. I am not able to see the comets unless I,
But
do
you got a
something drastic.
fjord.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't have a fjord here.
Fjords.
I don't have a fjord.
And I just recently
That
found
is
out
such
that
a
I can
weird
actually
word, fjord.
correctly spell fjord
but-
in Danish, and it will still be correctly spelled in English, American
Yeah,
English.
I know, because everybody
Weird.
steals the word from you, because how else would you do it?
I don't have a
Well,
fjord.
if
I have a
I-
jeep.
F-I-O-R-D, fjord. So,
if you were.
Oh, well.
Well, thank you for being here yet another week with us, Sean.
Yeah, well, it's always fun to be here.
It's always something to be here for sure.
I mean,
Fun.
fess up. You got to get your stupid fix.
That's true.
Fun may not be the right word, though, but
Oh, it's the right
that's just
word.
personal opinion.
Yeah, it's the right word.
For masochists, yeah.
Well, I
Just
am
out of
also
curiosity,
here.
Can clams and bats coexist?
I think so.
Yeah.
Why not? I am also here. So hi, me. Hello. And
Hi, me.
yeah, hi me. I've been working on a new intro for my channel. So yay, maybe. And I have a new video coming out. Hopefully tomorrow is the plan. It is the interview with none other than Scott Manley. So that was a lot of fun.
Safe.
The
Yeah,
baldy guy.
I did a fun interview with him, pre-recorded, and then running it through some editing real quick. But
So,
hopefully
did you
that
have
should be
any
done.
issues with his strange accent?
No, he was very
He doesn't have
understandable.
an accent.
No, no, it was a bad reference to a certain creaky blinder.
Yeah, I know. I was,
Not that he is
Going along
Scottish,
with it.
but
Yeah. No, it was a lot of fun. Scott is an awesome person, fun to talk to, pretty easygoing.
really cool guy.
Yeah.
You know, privately, he's
Yep.
just all the way down to earth.
Yep, absolutely. It was a lot of fun, and I'm super excited to get that out there. So hopefully,
Hold on.
hopefully
I
tomorrow.
think you mean he's all the way down to Kerbin.
Yeah,
Or the moon.
the moon.
The moon.
Yes. Well, that was a lot of fun. I really had a good time doing that, so I'm excited to get that video
Rockets
out.
are serious business.
And with that, I think that is about all of the new stuff we have going on. I've got a cat over here being a pain in the ass. What else is new?
Well, that's the cat's job.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's in the job description. You should check.
he excels at it. All right.
I haven't
So-
heard
Speaking of
birds
excelling,
call
we're
lately, so-
excelling in the number of COVID cases we have.
Yes.
On a
Everywhere.
light note,
Yeah. All right. So I've got the wheel up. Hello, wheel.
Ooh, I can actually
hi
read it.
Wheel, how are you doing, Wheel?
I'm good stripper for you.
All right. So
What?
hold on. I'm
You've
getting
got a stripper? What?
The Wheel's drunk
I think it
tonight.
was stupid, but all right. So we have on our wheel tonight: uncool trees, hoax, vibration, crystals, and monsters.
I've been
so-
looking forward to any one of those because the titles are really idiotic,
They are. So
and that's a high standard to go with our group.
well, these are the same videos that have been on the wheel for quite some time now. So we're trying to work our way through them before we
We're
add
really
some
lucky
new.
in that we've managed to miss them each time.
Yeah.
Well, remember there was one week where there was a really weighted
That's true.
selection
That's
there.
true.
Yes, yes. We've had a few slightly heavily weighted wheels, but you know, we'll see how it goes tonight. We'll try to get through some of these stupid videos before we add new stupid videos. So yeah, there's that. So tornado, do your thing.
Wheel of misfortune, turn, turn, turn. Show us the stupid that we should burn. Spin it. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Fuck.
We lose.
All right, it is the hoax video. Woo.
Yeah.
I always
Yay.
love to know what we've been hoaxed about.
Oh, there's always a hoax about something.
Everything is a hoax.
They're all in on it.
Yeah. All right.
You can't
Question.
just say,
I got a
All right.
question.
Yes.
If everyone's in on a hoax, does that mean it's a hoax anymore?
Yes.
Hoaxception is not part of the English vocabulary as far as I
Ta-da.
know. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, it's her again.
Oh dear
Oh
heavens.
God, it's Professor Funbag.
Oh, we're just getting
Oh, no.
flashbacks.
I hope.
Ladies
I
and
hope.
gentlemen, may I introduce
Oh, it could have been
everyone known as
Claudia.
Professor Funbag.
Hey, it's not Claudia, okay?
Hey, Jessica.
No,
I hope.
it's
I hope
almost
you have.
worse.
I hope you bought that phony giggle/laugh filter for this one.
I did not,
Oh, no.
unfortunately. I want you all to suffer.
Oh, or I wish I had booze.
I thought you,
I'm
forward
sure
to
your
it.
mom does.
I thought you said
I'm
something
sure you
else
have
at
mom
first.
do booze, you know.
Excuse me. I'm having to rename myself to F-Zero Tornado Pelt. Here we go again with this old joke being brought back.
Ah, yes.
FE0. I have to say it.
All right, let me.
Okay. Do we know the generic topic of what hoax she is attacking?
We do. The NASA
matter?
hoax, Cassini's Saturn on flat Earth.
Oh dear, I think I've seen this before.
Oh dear. Yes, that is the appropriate answer for that. All right.
Deer in headlights. big headlights. Oh, sorry. No, mate. Never mind.
Let me just get this all set up here
Oh, where
real
that
quick.
came
Give me
from?
1 second, so we're ready to go.
No, I'm pretty sure if the headlights were showing, we wouldn't be on the air anymore.
Yeah, this video probably would not have been either. Damn cat. All right, are we ready?
Oh,
No.
we'll never be ready, but I guess you can start.
Let's throw this boat out into the wasteland of stupid.
All right, well here we go, everybody.
You can't just
Yeah.
say, I don't really understand how that will work. So I
is
will
this
think
the
about
beginning?
Yes.
it. You're a citizen of the world.
Huh. That's a weird way of starting the
Let
video.
her,
Yeah.
let her say something before you say it.
We haven't
Yeah,
really
we-
gotten very
She
far.
actually
in the
said
middle of a
something
sentence.
right, but she's going to later on ignore it.
Yeah, no
Yes.
preemptive
Well, of course she
drinking.
is.
Yes, no preemptive drinking. Somebody asked how long this stupid is. That's always the
Too
wrong
long.
question to ask. But if you all must know, this particular video is 25 minutes.
Woo!
Till tomorrow.
Okay, get out your camping gear,
It is
kids.
tomorrow. What am I talking about?
That's true, Chris. All right, here we go, guys.
And as a citizen of the world, you have a responsibility to make sure that knowledge is valued and truth is
Yeah, we're
the
ahead of you on that.
standard by which we separate knowledge from belief. In order for a camera to take a picture, the light has to fall onto the sensors in such a way as to form an image. And in order to do that, it has to be consciously observed. It has to be observed.
Ow, my ear.
Yes, Tornado?
I am so sorry, but lady, that is just completely and utterly and totally wrong. Exhibit A, the Fukushima nuclear plant robots that had cameras attached to them and weren't being consciously observed. It's almost as if for a piece of technology to work, it just has to work. Gee, it's not like it's a frickin' concept or anything. It's not like we have autonomous drones that can take picture. Oh, wait.
RJ, you had
Yeah.
your hand up?
So yeah, if you have like set up an automatic camera in a spot that takes pictures autonomously, the pictures don't exist and have no image on them until you look at them.
Apparently. Apparently that's
Apparently.
how that works.
That's an astonishingly
That's a
new
a
concept which
new
has only
fact
one
for
minor
me.
problem with it. It's effing stupid.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. All right, let's
If
see what
I
else she
might
has
add
to.
to the point,
Yeah.
if you've got a sensor and light is hitting it, then one of two things is going to happen. if it's a chemical sensor, like your old style film, like the film negatives and such, it's going to trigger a chemical reaction, which is going to basically burn, if you will, a negative version of that image, through which you could then run it through Technicolor and do some additive color or subtractive color theory, whatever the hell that is, and merge the different colors together like they do in Technicolor to get a kind of odd-looking image. But hey, if it works, it works. Now, what in the case of an electrical sensor, like an RGB sensor, a photon turns into an electrical signal, which I'm not sure how the exact process works, but it rushes into an electrical signal where basically a certain number of pixels is there. It's what resolution is. Like when you hear 480 or 720p, that's your resolution. And so you get basically electrical signals following or coming from the sensor, and you can get an image by having by having it beamed back to Earth, or in the case of a computer, you can reverse it so that the electricity is actually reaching the computer screen and causing the phosphors on your computer monitor to light up and thereby transmit light into your eyes to give you an image.
Who has a CRT anymore?
I don't.
I have-
Yeah,
I
that
have a
would be
couple of
somebody who lives in a
CRTs.
museum.
What are you talking about, Chris? I've
No,
got
I
one
don't.
in,
I have-
one of my oscilloscopes. I've got one in my Super VHS video camera.
Well, but
He
you live in a
meant
museum.
television.
Use it as a computer monitor?
I wouldn't want to.
All right. Well, let us continue on. We've got a while to go
Yeah.
in this video.
Is it going to be some science?
Absolutely, RJ.
Yeah, right.
Okay, I'm getting disappointed here.
Here we go, guys.
By a conscious being.
Ooh.
Do you see where the problem lies here?
Oh, fuck off.
Fuck
That's
off.
terrible.
I forget how to do an intro.
Skip.
The Cassini photographic probe was sent out to photograph Saturn and its rings and its moons and send the photos back to Earth. And recently it completed its mission. It sent back amazing pictures of Saturn, of the rings of Saturn, crystal clear imagery. And then NASA shared those pictures with the world. But is that actually what happened? And is that...
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
Hold on, sorry, I muted it.
No, and here's why. Most people just assume that Cassini sent back JPEG type images to NASA
Wrong.
from Saturn.
Wrong!
And
Drink.
so
Yes, Tornado.
Okay, a more accurate description would be that Cassini sends out a sort of radio wave which bounces into a satellite dish here on Earth. We capture it, sort of, and then it comes down the pipe into an area, and basically it's analyzed by computers, and then it builds the image. So that's how you get an image from one place that's really far away to come all the way down into your system. In fact, that's how we used to do it with televisions. We had signals that come down into the area, like say the rabbit ears, and it links all the useful stuff into an area, puts it into the TV, and then the oscilloscope cathode ray tube thingy did its little scanning thing, lighting up the phosphorus as it went, and then you had an image. Same process-ish, but using different technology.
Aha.
So, sorry, Orphan Red. You're just wrong.
Bo, you had something to add?
Yeah. I'm sure that she just said JPEG kind of photo because that would be fair enough because most people don't know that JPEGs that they suck.
Yeah.
And a real photographer would never use JPEG to that format to take pictures with. But yeah, of course they don't send photos as such sent pastime, sorry, with the Cassini spacecraft. No, they sent binary transmissions. It wasn't about sending photos as such. It was just binary data, and then it was interpreted later. It wasn't, I'm trying to speak here but I'm stupid. I mean, sleepy. Sorry. No,
You're not stupid.
it's not a drag and drop kind of thing. It's data, and it's not compressed like JPEG is. But I don't know where I was actually trying to go with that because, again, I'm tired and she's
Basically
making me more stupid by the second.
Yeah.
Let's just put it this way. Basically, this doesn't know how a camera works.
Yeah.
Chris Kelling, you had something to add?
No, other than I affirm what Bo was trying to say, and the fact that it's all digital.
Right.
It's ones and zeros coming back at us.
Yeah.
And the reassembled in the computer. That's all.
Yeah. With a certain
No
amount
radio to
of
help
forward
you out
error
along the
connection.
way?
And RJ?
I was just wondering, would it be thought of as somewhat cruel to want to have her put in like a rowboat about 3,000 miles out in space that she, with a camera and plenty of film, that she can row out to Saturn and take an actual photograph of Saturn for all of our benefit?
With or without
yeah.
a EVA suit.
Without
Well,
with
we'll
no
be
way to get
kind and
home,
let her
right?
have that. But yeah, it's a short trip rowing, isn't it, in their
Yeah,
universe?
absolutely. I think
Yeah.
so.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's.
Oh, I just remembered something.
Yes, Poe.
Cassini didn't just take photos. I mean, it wasn't just a probe that only took photos of stuff. It did a lot of other stuff as well.
There was
Picked
more
up
than just
radio waves
optical
and stuff
signals
like
involved.
Gee,
Mhm.
are you telling
Yeah.
me that Cassini actually had more than one objective?
Yeah, funny how that works, huh? I mean, it used its transmitters as a radio telescope, for example.
And I gotta say, it's really
During-
sad to see how far Flo has fallen once she got on drugs.
Ouch. Jeez.
But yeah, no, hearing the quote sounds unquote of Saturn and the rings it's kind of eerie, but it's also really interesting.
Cool.
And what it is just the radio signals coming off the planet, and the interference and stuff that's created by the ice crystals in the rings. It's really an interesting study.
It was like listening to quasars, that kind of disco beat thing.
And just as a fun bit of fact stuff here, in terms of the Cassini spacecraft, its mass was about 14.38 kilos, and the peak power it consumed was almost 81 watts.
Yeah, trivial.
My-
It's like a light
may I
bulb.
say, damn, that's incredible.
Well, we have a super chat in the meantime. We have a $1.99
Super
super
chat.
chat from Robert Williams, who says, "I'll shoot JPEG when I'm too lazy to post process."
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I mean
But
the only
still.
time I really ever shoot JPEG is if I'm going to upload it immediately to my phone or something like that.
Yeah, well, thankfully, most cameras can save
Do
in
both.
both formats at the same time.
Yep.
Raw-ish.
If
and
I'm going
JPEG.
out to actually do like a shoot or something where I know I'm gonna be post processing later on, I'll shoot in just RAW so I have more free space on the memory card. But if I'm going out, like if I'm gonna be with like family or something, I might put it in both. That way I can quickly upload them to the phone to send to family members if needed, but then also have the ability
After
to
processing the raw
post-process.
image, do you prefer to saute or broil?
I think broil. I think you get a better
Yeah,
char.
yeah, it gets a little crispier. Yeah, that way it's
Yeah.
got a nice little. Yeah,
Yep.
I agree.
All right. Well, shall we continue on?
Uh-oh, that
I
was what I was
guess.
afraid of.
Yeah, it was a good
Man.
attempt. All right. Let me turn down the
Cogs
volume
wallop.
a little bit. I turned it too loud now. All right.
I'm waiting
we
for the
cannot.
science.
Oh, no, thank you.
Here we go.
that somehow
Time, RJ.
the Cassini was a lot like the camera that I'm using now, and it was just snapping pictures and sending like an email through
Oh
the
my
vastness
God.
of space. JPEG.
It's a
Drain.
space email.
If she was doing this to, if she were talking to kindergartners, I would accept that way of explaining it. But yikes! Whew. Sorry, I stole your thunder there.
No, you didn't. But
Darn it! I mean, good.
Yes, it was a camera collecting light
Hold on.
and stuff, things and stuff and stuff and things.
About
But
that.
it was mostly infrared and ultraviolet and some other waves that outside the visible light spectrum, because there's not a whole lot of light out there to light the thing up. And so yes, it was processing images or processing the data that was coming off the photo receptive cells, but they weren't necessarily visible light. So it's not a camera that is like what's on your
Yeah.
It's a digital camera, so big
DSLR,
deal.
We're talking about a multi-spectral imager, to be somewhat scientific. Yeah.
I like in the chat, Hawk Skull says she is talking to flat earthers. Might as well aim it at kindergartners. Yeah.
even though that will
gardeners are
still be
able to
way
critically
beyond
think
that.
a lot better than flat earthers. They know what questions to ask,
And
how to ask them.
Zmore42 says, I'm late. Sorry. Can someone please summarize the 3 drink calls? So I summarize them. Drink call 1, W. Drink call 2, T. Drink call 3, F.
Yeah, that pretty well covers
that
it.
about sums it up.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Basically, all the pictures of Saturn are fake because they're not like an oil painting and that they're digital.
yeah. Space emails.
No, it's that they're
So
all
now we've
fake
saved us
because
20
they
minutes of
haven't
viewing.
been observed.
All right.
And I'm beating Tornado in my categories here.
Don't beat Tornado's Cobra.
Images.
Too much.
All right. Here we go.
Damn.
And then the NASA scientists were just opening the email,
What?
downloading the image, and there we go, that's Saturn. Except that's
The
not how it
NASA
works.
spy interests, did she
Special.
say?
How it actually worked is that the Cassini
There you go.
took data readings. The Cassini took images of Saturn, but then it transformed it into data that it then beamed through interplanetary
Transforming
space
it into
and
lore.
then through our atmosphere, through the Van Allen belts, through the plasma shield that NASA found around our
Plasma
planet
shield?
several years back.
Drink.
What the fuck?
Through the
Huh?
Yes, Tornado.
Ow. 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 My head.
My brain hurts.
Yes, let's start with Tornado since I think he got the drink call, and then we'll go to the super chat real quick. Tornado.
Yeah.
Tornado.
This woman, A, needs to work on her editing skills, and B, would be mostly right except for the fact that there's no fucking plasma shield for the Earth.
Yeah. Bo.
Yeah. Assuming that she didn't record this, over a long time, and that's why she's cutting in between, recordings, as it seems. I think she's, her special editing or effects and editing. Holy crap, my head. I think she's on LSD is what I'm trying to say right now. I mean, she's playing around with funny colors and all that stuff. Dang, yeah, she's on LSD.
LSD.
Yeah. I don't know
Jesus
if she's on
flippin'
anything, but she's certainly.
Well, I know. I mean, we know that she is
Special.
lying her teeth off because she's not what she
Yes.
claims to be. But that is a solid truth. But yeah, yikes.
RJ, you had your hand up?
Yeah, I think I've seen that plasma shield. I think it was guarding the archives there in the Rogue One documentary movie that was then destroyed. So I think she's following up on some really good science that she saw on cable.
I think you're.
I just remembered
close to
something.
correct.
We have to commend her. At least she is not using her breasts right now to make things interesting. At
Yeah.
least
Oh,
she's
those
got
were
that
outlawed
going
by
for her.
the Geneva Convention recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, she usually,
Authorized cleavage.
put those in front view.
Chris
Yeah.
Kelling.
Yeah, well, I mean, we mentioned the editing, and I kind of, I get what she is trying to do, because when she was saying plasma shield, she put a gradient in there to kind of fog everything up, and fortunately it was not a very good edit, and I'm not really all that surprised. I think she just said, "Ooh, what's transition?" and pushed that button, said, "Ooh, I got to put that in there somewhere." It's my thinking on her thought process. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think you might be
I'm
pretty
sorry.
close to
I'm
accurate.
sorry. I forgot she doesn't have a thought process.
Yeah.
She's just
Although
a mention member. I think she just, filled in the circles that made pretty picture on the answer sheet.
Yeah, don't give
I
her too
swear
much
this woman
credit.
is it's like trying to explain her. No, this is how you paint by numbers, and she just doesn't want to hear it because that hasn't been observed.
I mean,
Yeah.
being the devil's advocate here, this plasma nonsense. One thing I could say that when back in the days of the awesome but ridiculously expensive space shuttle, when they were going back to Earth, they did observe plasma in the windows because of the heat being produced by the friction of the atmosphere. That was plasma. But I don't really honestly believe that is what she meant by it.
Yeah, probably
How
not.
much is that plasma in the window?
We
Can we
also
move on, please? Let's get this thing finished.
coming from you. That's
we're
a
hurting
tall
here.
order, Tornado. We had a $5 super chat from Cheese Mondo. Hello, Cheesy. Who says, "Why doesn't this stream have a government health warning? Orphan Red, what are you trying to do to me?" Yeah, sorry. There should have definitely been a warning, but it's hard to tell what the wheel is going to doom us with each week. So
Then
What
again,
if Red Pill Philosophy and Orphan Red got together?
God only knows. All right, let us continue.
Yay.
The atmosphere, through the dust, into the NASA offices. And then they took that information and took some very skilled artists, and the artists used the information that
Pause.
was
This is
beamed
not
back
a drink
from
call.
Cassini.
This is a pause call.
Yes, Chris.
Does she know what she's saying when she says NASA offices? Where are the NASA offices? Because last time I checked, NASA was, let's see, you had the JPL over in California, you have Mission Control in Houston, you have the Launch
Kennedy,
Center in Florida, you have the administrative offices in DC.
Yeah,
And none of those places are actually the places where they receive the signals.
right.
No,
Those are from
they probably received them over in the dish in Australia, as far as I know.
Well, 3. I think. Well, what is it? Is it 3 or 5 dish receiving sites? I
yeah,
can't
it's
remember how
actually
many
an
there are.
array. Yeah.
But yeah.
All right, continuing.
But she's trying to make this sound as improbable as possible. That's what
Yes.
she's trying
Yeah.
to do.
It's an argument from incredulity.
All right, continuing
I'll
on.
take that.
To create these fantastic images of Saturn and its moons and its rings. very much like the camera I'm using now, the Cassini is taking a photograph of Saturn, let's say, or Saturn's rings. What's happening is the light from the sun is bouncing off the rings of Saturn and into the Cassini camera, and then onto the detector, the
She's
light
getting something right.
detector sensor, and that creates the image in the same way that the camera I'm using now is doing. But here is a crucial factor that's required for an image to be formed in a camera that NASA is curiously not addressing, and none of the scientists, astronomers, astrophysicists, popular media
Get
reporting
on
on
with it.
these things, nobody's talking about this, nobody's brought this up, except for me.
Get on with it.
And I'm going to keep bringing it up because I think this is something that you cannot ignore. You can't just say, I don't really understand how that will work, so I won't think about it. You're a citizen of the world, and as a citizen of the world, you have a responsibility to
Are
make
you going
sure
to get
that
to the point of
Oh,
knowledge
yeah, I thought
someday
you
is
would.
valued, and truth is the standard by which we separate knowledge from belief. A belief might be true, it might be false.
She doesn't want
Knowledge,
to answer her question.
by definition, should be true. And so if NASA is telling us, here's an image of the rings of Saturn taken by the Cassini spacecraft in orbit around Saturn, and that becomes part of the human knowledge, then it should be true. Otherwise, we're spreading lies, because these images aren't being presented as
Your point
part of
being-
a religious belief system, iconography.
Frank!
Why
These
the
images are
bleep
being-
should it be?
Yes, Tornado.
Oh, gee, it's
She
not
looks
as
like the
if we
Joker
can,
there.
Demonstrate this thing happening. Oh, it's not as if we can demonstrate that there's a probe in orbit around Saturn. It's not as if we can demonstrate that that probe was working at the time that this video was being made. It's not as if we could demonstrate at the time that it was taking pictures of Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Listen, lady, just because you don't understand something, just because it might seem impossible to you, doesn't mean it's fake. And for that, I raise you one fallacy on the fallacy counter, and I also raise my tornado level to EF2.
Chris Kelling, you had your hand up?
Yeah, I think we should have a new category for best Joker face. And she looks like the Joker there. But Tornado, you got to remember, she is a Poe. She doesn't believe one word of this. She just, I mean, if
I
you've
know.
never gone to her channel, she always lists her channel as entertainment. And this is always a character. I've seen her break character before, and she is not this dumb. She just puts an act on for the clicks.
She
For the
hoodwinks
attention.
credulous people for money.
Yes. In
But
other
I'm
words,
willing to
Sean,
bet, though. I'm willing to bet that she is more interested in the attention than
Yes.
any money. To
yes,
be
I
honest.
agree.
Yeah, when
She's
she
making
stopped
stuff
wearing
up.
low-cut tops, apparently her viewership dropped by 25%.
I like in the live chat, Quitty's the sprinkler just said, my dogo just told me it's bedtime, and either the whiskey is starting to get to me or my dog learned how to talk.
Or both.
I would like to think it was the latter. All right. Alrighty, shall we continue on?
No.
Waiting for the science.
Yeah, we'll get there, RJ. Sure.
Yeah, she's got like 20 minutes left to put science in.
Actually, you're spot on.
Just start doing science.
All right, here we go, guys.
Presented as truth for not just North American culture, not just Americans, but the world over. And so if they're not true, then then we have a moral obligation to talk about that. So here's
Your
the
point
problem.
being?
In order for a camera to take a picture, the light has to fall onto the sensors in such a way as to form an image. And in order to do that, it has to be consciously observed. It has to be observed by a
No, you
conscious being.
twats.
Repeating the
As
same
an
claptrap.
answer,
You see where the problem lies here? If there's no conscious observer
what
observing the
hell?
light that's
You're
falling
stupid.
into the camera and then falling onto the sensor in the camera, then the light won't travel as photons, as particles. The light will travel as waves that interfere with each other. And so if you don't have a conscious
Is she
Try to
trying
get
to
into
double
quantum
slit
mechanics,
experiment
though.
this?
No, lady, that's not how any of that works. At all. Photons are both waves and particles. We determine that they are particles based on the fact that they interact with gravitational phenomena, which
They
if
have
they weren't
mass.
particles, they really wouldn't. So, yeah, they're particles in that respect, but they also carry a certain energy that we depict as, or that we detect as a wavelength slash frequency slash that sort of thing. Each photon has a certain energy, and therefore it emits a certain wavelength of light. And it doesn't matter whether a camera is being consciously observed or not. I mean, hell, you've got the sky cam on most weather towers these days. Like, on a tall tower or a tall building where the camera is looking out at the sky to see what the weather is doing. That's not being consciously observed. But it's still working. You know why? Because everything you said up till now, Orphan Red, or I'm sorry, Professor Funbags, every single thing that you said up till now about how cameras work, sure, you're getting the salient points, right? As in, data is being beamed back to a radio dish. But for you to say that it has to be consciously observed is just a flat-out frickin' lie. Cameras will work whether they're being consciously observed or not. So, hate to break it to you, but technology works. Learn some.
I think she's mad at you now. Look at her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Well, she can be mad at me all she wants.
We also had RJ with the hand up.
Yeah, of course, nothing about the wave versus particle nature of light alters whatsoever the fact of how a camera works. So people were able to take photographs in 1850 long before they knew about the quantum nature of light or anything else. And so all of this argument that it somehow makes the Saturn pictures suspect because they're not what? No, this is an absolute waste. And I couldn't resist. This is one of the few times that I actually looked up the video on YouTube so that I could unlike it and also say, because the comment section are still open, to say this is a stupid video.
Well,
Unfortunately, YouTube still does not differentiate between up and downloads in terms of engagement.
yeah.
But yeah.
Also, to
Yeah.
Orphan Red, I must say, piffle sticks to you. Fie unto you for spreading misinformation.
But she often responds to things, so if she decides to respond to me, I will be amused and
Yes,
she
that
will
would be
regret it.
funny. All right.
I'd love
well,
to see that.
let us continue on.
conscious observer observing the light going into the camera, then on your camera's detector sensors, you'll get an interference pattern. You'll never get an image. A camera out by Saturn trying to take a picture of the light
1.5
bouncing
maybe
off the
would
rings
be
of Saturn
Good speed.
would not be able to form an image without a conscious observer there
Right.
to collect.
Is that not asked and answered?
Yeah, it's
Repeating the
asked
same
and answered.
mistake 15 times won't make it any other than a mistake.
Exactly.
No, it'll make it. Actually, it will make it something other than a mistake. It will be a mistake repeated as nauseum. So now you are 3 up on the fallacy counter with an ad nauseum.
Here we go, guys.
Collapse the photon probabilities, the probability wave distribution of photons into particles that can then
What the
form an
fuck?
image on the sensors. Without a conscious observer, you have no image. What you have are just interference patterns.
only
That's it. So
Schrodinger can take a
basically,
picture now, I
no
guess.
one
Cutting
is
money,
in
mustard
the
and
Cassini
dressing with my
spacecraft.
tossed word salad.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, this interference pattern bullshit needs to be set straight. It needs to be set straight, and it needs to be set straight now, because damn it, it's wrong. And in fact, it's so utterly, horribly wrong that every point that Orphan Red is, Professor Funbags is making is very wrong, getting wronger at every point. She's so wrong, in fact, that she's wrong at every point and at every level. Fractal wrongness. In the meantime, this interference pattern bullshit, no, photons do not act as probability wave form functions. That's just word salad. And again, cameras don't have to be consciously observed to form an image. A sky cam on a weather tower is evidence enough of that. I mean, I could be watching a feed from the Tuscaloosa tornado outbreak back in 2011. There's no conscious observers watching that, but yet you can still see the storms rolling in. Why is that? Maybe it's because technology works, and you, Orphan Red, are an utter Nimrod.
Bo, I believe you had your hand up.
Yeah. I wonder why she, these lies she's spewing. I wonder why she hasn't, tried showing her, showing that she could start her camera recording and then walk not only out of the room but also out of her apartment, her home, so that she can't see or even hear the camera running, if that was even possible. And then, wait for a little bit and then walk right back in, because if this idiotic nonsense she's spouting would be true, there would only be footage in that camera for as long as she was in there with the camera, in either earshot or visual range of that camera.
Right.
Yeah, I wonder why she hasn't done that.
Yeah. I have one good reason why she hasn't done that, Bo.
Yeah.
'Cause she
It's
knows it's a
dum
lie.
dum 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 dum.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's continue on.
Watching the camera take these pictures, if there's no one in the rings of Saturn watching this happen, then those photons are going to maintain their probability distribution state. They're not going to collapse into particles. So they're not going to form an image on the sensor in the Cassini. It's just going to be interference patterns. There's no information because the properties of the individual photons are maintained in a superposition state. So the properties of each photons aren't
Asked and answered.
fixed or are set.
Has anyone
they're
heard
just a
of
superposition state
time-lapse
of all
photography?
possible
Anyone?
property values, all at the same time. So it's just, do you see? Some of you will see. It's not possible to take an image of the rings of Saturn without a conscious observer present to witness the light, because only by being witnessed does the light manifest as
Drink.
particles that can form an image.
Yes, Tornado?
Yeah, just like, it's not possible to watch a storm roll in on a camera that's not being consciously observed. Oh, is that a tornado coming at me? Oh, fuck. So you see, cameras don't need to have conscious observers in order to take an image. You're
Yeah,
just lying.
I think we may have covered that. RJ.
But not
Yeah,
enough.
okay, let me get this straight now. So you put a camera up and there is a wild lion that is attacking you and running towards the camera. And the camera is on an automatic timer, so that if you're standing there without your hand on the camera with your eyes shut, no picture will be taken because of the lack of an observer. But when you do open your eyes, then the picture will be taken as the tiger leaps over the camera and is about to devour you. But instead, if you turned your back on the camera but opened your eyes but only listened to the tiger approaching, still no camera picture would be taken because of the fact that you did not have a conscious observer. Is that kind of the argument she's doing?
I
Yes.
think so.
So it kind of sounds like it, yeah.
I think that would be easily verifiable by experiment. I do want the tiger to be there for this.
Yeah, we definitely
you know,
need the
I'm
tiger.
starting to build up a little, how shall I call this? Yeah, a little theory of my own here. Perhaps the NASA scientists thought of all of this and went back when in the day when they built the Cassini spacecraft.
They brought their own tiger.
Well, no, I was actually just thinking that they went to one of those shops you can get office supplies and bought some googly eyes.
Oh,
And they somehow put that inside the spacecraft.
so there would
on
be
a
an
piece of paper
observer.
and
Yeah.
and drew a little happy
Or
smiley face thing.
or they put a little teeny tardigrade in there. We know how extremely
Ooh.
resilient those tardigrades
yeah.
are in space. So actually, you know, tardigrades in
Yeah, but-
space. I can see it. in
But
Dr.
But does
RJ,
a-
we
does a
already
living-
have a name for this effect. It's called the Siegfried and Roy effect.
Yes, we do. Yes, that if
But-
you don't watch the lion jumping at you, it doesn't actually do it. Yeah.
Yeah, but the entity observing it, does that entity have to be conscious? Conscious.
If no one is,
I mean,
if no one is
self-conscious
there
or-
to watch the tiger attacking her, does that mean that it won't have happened because you need an observer for that?
Yes.
Yeah,
I have
mean,
a question
in,
though.
In any case,
I have a
we
question
don't know
for
because we
RJ.
weren't
In
there.
fact, I don't think you can take a picture at all without Schrodinger.
That's true.
Super chat.
RJ, I have a question
Two
for
of
you
them.
though. First,
Yeah.
can it be a lion instead of a tiger?
It can. You can actually have
Or a
any
tiger.
carnivorous beast,
Bear's
a
Okay.
pissed off grizzly bear,
Ooh, that would work.
a really a hyena in the right mood.
Oh.
Any of those are theoretically possible. Wolverines, badgers, anything
Hmm.
like that, or the cartoon Tasmanian devil really could be quite fun.
Oh, that would be fun.
It's so
Indeed.
cute.
He can devour mountain ranges. I mean, that is a one big ass
Yeah,
critter.
and by the way, Tasmanian tigers, they smell like popcorn for some weird reason.
Oh, by the way, I suppose I
Odd.
should add my Tasmanian devil impression.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
We do
3
have
super chats, by the way.
yes, I know. Thank you. We do have 3 super chats. I was getting there, Chris. Thank you very much. We had a $2 or $2 Australian dollar, 2.99 Australian dollar from Glenn Collins, who says quantum computers produce discrete answers.
Oh
We-
boy.
We also had Robert Williams for $4.99, who says Nimrod was a hunter in the Bible. The Brits had an ASW plane called Nimrod. We think it means moron because Bugs Bunny calls Elmer Fudd a true Nimrod.
Aha, you see how everything connects together.
It's all connected, man.
Yep. 6 degrees of
got-
separation.
One more super chat there. Uh-oh. Did we,
Nope, I'm here.
Did we lose
Jesse?
our host?
Oh, she's there.
No, Sean came in the room real quick. He had been outside.
And he was
So-
wearing his birthday suit, so
He's getting more
she got a
moist.
little,
I hope he was
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
wearing his birthday suit outside. Let's hope not. Otherwise, I might have
hey,
to
if
do
it's
some
dark
explaining.
enough
We also had a $5 super chat from Cajun Crustacean, who says, proof that cameras don't need a conscious observer. Fun bags, camera works at all. Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
there's no conscious observer there.
I still want to
I don't think there's a conscious observer on that video.
Yeah.
Like
Which
if whoever
is
is
an
in the woods and
unconscious
starts
observer right
talking,
now.
does that mean they're still stupid?
Yes.
Yeah. You're
We
getting the
also
principles down here pretty damn quick.
we also had Cajun Crustacean who said in the live chat, so that means Bugs Bunny is God? I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd be all right with
except for that constantly chewing on on
Yeah.
carrots.
And
there,
of course,
but,
his
yeah.
nemesis, Daffy.
And we have a moist request in the live chat there, Sean, if you're back on your mic.
Uh-oh. Let's
Sean.
hear that proximity effect at its best.
Sean.
Working on it. What's up?
We had a moist request from the chat.
Why does everybody want to be so moist all the time?
If there's no perceiver, is the moistness moist or
Oh,
not?
that's a good question.
It's
Only
their
when it's
way of
consciously
telling.
observed.
Yeah, exactly. Conscious perceiver.
Now, I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure that everybody, at least once in life, has been very unconscious and woke up to something moist.
Hey, Sean.
You're not
I tell you,
wrong.
this is getting to be real deep philosophy, which actually is deeper philosophy than anything we've ever got from an Orphan Red video.
That's true.
I got
Yeah.
a question for you.
But
Would you say that Professor Funbags is either a lying idiot or an idiot liar?
oh no, she's a Poe.
Yes.
Just a lying liar, actually.
Yeah, she's been identified as a Poe by herself many times for the last several years. She's a Poe. And
It's such a dreadful waste of time.
it's literally just an attention-seeking gambit that she has to flaunt her tits everywhere over the internet and have, you know, preteen boys just fawn all over her while she says the dumbest things possible because she
Oh,
has nothing
good
intelligent to say.
heavens. There
Also-
are vertebrates that are aroused by this organism.
Sadly, yes.
Wow.
I'd be aroused
yeah, and-
by
and
her.
even
She's
more-
just so mind-bogglingly
Even more until she opens her
stupid.
mouth.
We also had a
Is that
super
with or without an observer?
we also had a super chat from Microraptor for 25 sec,
Conscious.
who says consciousness is a spectrum. I don't know how much a sec is. I don't know what a sec is.
That's Swedish
Ah.
kroners.
Onas.
Aha.
They're even less
Kronos.
worth than our dick dollars.
like God of War.
Yeah, and by the way, just to make it absolutely clear here, she is not even doing this for money. She has a total of 5 patrons.
No, it's literally just for
It's
any
attention.
attention she can get. She had daddy issues.
Exactly. Yeah. So,
Oh boy.
although I don't know what she gets from super chats and that kind of
Yeah.
thing, but yeah, she's not doing it for the money.
Well, I do want to thank
least,
everybody tonight so far for these super chats. I do appreciate all of them. You know, there's
Even though YouTube steals 30% of it.
yeah, they do, unfortunately, but there are some, you know, costs associated with keeping the show going and keeping the you know, all the what do you call it, like
Keeping the
The window-
lights
the-
on.
well, that
And,
too,
and keeping
but
the windows updating.
yeah, fucking
Oh,
Windows.
that was last.
No, what do you call a thing like the oh god, the domain's active and all that sort of thing.
And keeping the lights on and whatnot.
Indeed. So I do appreciate all the super chats. So thank you, everybody. And Microraptor says not Kronos, Kroner. Ah, damn it! I wanted like Kronos from, you know, God of War type of thing.
So the reigning domains lie mainly in the Microsoft.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Danish krona.
There's a, you know,
Well, Swedish krona in this case, but yeah.
yes. Yeah, because yours are dick dollars.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Would a Danish kroner actually be a piece of Lego?
Isn't that like a pastry?
Almost. Yeah, the funny that's the funny. No, it was.
No, what was funny
a
was that
baker-
you gave a sigh in front of it.
No, it was a baker from Vienna that immigrated to Denmark and started up his business as a baker, and making pastries, of course, and what would you call it? Adjusting it, to our liking, the taste. I mean, and we call it Vienna bread, or as it's pronounced. And don't laugh because it's funny anyway. Wienerbrot, or Wiener bread, almost.
Jeez.
We call it Wienerbrot, and you guys call it
Wien,
Danish, but
of course,
it's
being Vienna.
yeah.
So over there, are the little weenies just called sausages?
No, because sausages and
Just
wieners
members
are
of
two different
parliament.
things.
Oh, jeez, RJ.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Wieners
I think
are
we've
tiny.
I think
Sausages are huge.
delayed
No,
for
there's
quite
the
a
Vienna
while.
sausages.
I think we've delayed quite a while.
What's our current speed?
Not enough.
Got to go back to Smiling Jane here.
Well, yes, and I mean we've been at this for just about an hour now. Minus the
At what
intros.
speed are we playing back here? Are we at
We're
1.5
playing
yet?
at 1.3. Any further, and she might be completely difficult
With the
to.
amount of pauses
Iffy
she
long
puts
stocking
in.
on bath salts.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody wants me to skip forward or if we'd rather skip the video altogether.
Yeah, 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Certainly, as long as you don't skip backwards. Really.
Because it's really unlikely that there's going to be any vast influx of altered
Yeah.
information content. It's just 15,000 things.
No
of
science,
same-
RJ. I'm sorry. There is no science here.
There could be some. Usually they save the science for the end of the videos, don't they?
Yeah, they always slip that in
Yeah.
like 24 frames a second stuff right during the end credits.
Exactly. It's
And
science.
you have to slow it down and read it all, and it turns out all to be in either Ogham or cuneiform.
All right. Well, I've skipped ahead about 10 minutes.
Yeah, she looks remarkably similar.
Yeah. let's see if
That's her old face.
let's see if the level of stupidity has
Kind
gotten
of
any better.
Here
Here we go.
She's not done on the can yet.
Underlying assumptions first before you'll accept the final conclusion, the theory itself, then that's not science anymore. That's just religion. They're asking you to have blind faith in these underlying assumptions and just accept it.
We haven't even gotten 2 minutes in. Yes,
Ain't got a
tornado.
minute in.
Asking for
In a
blind
orphan
faith. Are you
second.
really going to pull this scientism bullshit again?
Yes.
That's her shtick.
Her shtick.
Every
She's got a
single
shtick.
time you say
That
that,
explains it.
science is a religion, you're discrediting yourself because you're making it look like religion is bad.
Yeah, but she's not the only one that did this. She may have started the word scientism. I don't know if she did or didn't, but she's the first one I remember hearing saying it. But the rest of the community, the flat earthers, seem to have picked up on that.
Don't you
Anyway,
just feel
moving
dirty
on.
remembering anything she has said ever?
Yeah. We
Well,
also
no,
have
when it's burned into your brain, you kind of you have to deal with it. So it's like,
we also have a Mark Beiser in the chat. So derp, give all the derps. All of the derps to Mark.
Derpity doo da.
Derp throat.
Derpity
Yeah. All right, here we go, guys.
Truth. What they've told you is true. That's a religious belief. You're suspending your disbelief. You're saying you haven't proven these wild assumptions that you're making in order to come to your conclusion that these images are real. Well, and you expect me to just accept that and say, oh, okay, well, if you, oh high priest of authority, NASA, Scienter, tells me that this is
The
true,
high
then how can I
priest of
question that?
authority.
Clearly, you are giving me a divine revelation that has to be true because it came from you, and you only speak the word of God. That's religion.
Fucking great!
Science would
dum
require.
dum dum dum.
Yes, tornado.
Trigger.
Pulling that stupid bullshit that you just pulled is a great way to make all scientists seem less credible. Which means it's poisoning the well. The fourth of many, many logical fallacies that you are committing here.
Yeah. Sounds
You need
about
to
right.
secure that shit, Hudson.
nah.
I
She just-
think
she just
Tornado is
keeps-
getting somewhat agitated or just irate.
indeed.
Yeah.
I wonder
I
why.
don't know. I'm
Calm
way,
down and
I'm
take a
way
stress
past
pill.
them. I'm already at Jupiter's red spot. So as far as hurricanes are concerned, I'm ahead of the tornado.
Yeah.
All right. Let us continue on.
Yeah. Let's
NASA
get that
provide us
science in.
with proof of the underlying assumptions before they expect us to accept the conclusion. So if you want me to accept the conclusion that the photos of the Saturn rings from Cassini are real, then please provide me with proof of those underlying assumptions. Prove to me that
Pause.
the conscious
Drink.
Yes, Chris?
I want her to provide proof that they're fake. I mean, you can't prove a negative, I know, but I mean, if they're fake, there's going to be proof that they're fake in some manner, other than just saying they're fake.
Yeah.
In other
And-
words, provide the evidence for which you base your assumption that this is fake.
Yeah.
or provide the evidence that that you're basing your postulate on.
Well, and what evidence would she accept? Has she ever said that?
I'm not saying we provide evidence because we
No,
don't
no.
have to
Has she
provide
ever
the
said what evidence
She
she would?
has to
What would
provide
it?
evidence.
What would it need to look like for her to supposedly accept it?
That's
Well,
true.
see, I want to know why she is not accepting it. All she's saying is, I don't accept it. Why don't you accept it?
That's a good
And
question.
they never tell you. They just say, "Oh, it looks fake." Really? Why
Right.
does it look fake? Well, I just know it's fake. No, I'm sorry, doesn't work.
Just
that
know it in my heart or something.
Tornado, you had your hand up?
Well, yeah. I'm gonna
Uh-oh.
play this. Everyone be quiet. This is gonna be Roger.
I think I know what's coming.
The YouTube Weather Service has issued a tornado
After
emergency.
not.
This is a dangerous storm. Take cover now.
Yeah. I'm quite pissed off at this point.
Alrighty. Well, let's see if we can get this finished up, because this is an awful, awful video.
I'm giving up my hope that I'm going to be hearing some science.
Don't lose hope.
I've not heard much illuminating about like the actual Saturn.
Alright, here
It's
we
Almost
Reagan
like
around.
there's no science in this.
Yeah,
Made mostly up of gas.
glass.
Couldn't she have just been much shorter by saying, "I don't believe it, nya nya," and that would have been it, rather than spending 25 minutes on it?
Bitch, go away.
Alright, let's continue on.
This observer, looking at the data file on Earth many days after the picture was taken, somehow works back in time to transform an interference pattern into a photon particle pattern on the sensors.
Still
of the
going
camera.
on with this.
Let's start with that. Prove that to me first.
Oh,
and then
she
we can
wants
move
to
forward
sound
from there.
sciencey.
This is important because NASA is publicly funded. And so taxpayers in the United States who are going through not the best economic times right now are donating $19 billion to NASA every year. If the American people want to give
Yes, Bo?
Should we just make it absolutely clear that the amount of funding in terms of dollars, percentage of the US budget is less than 0.5%? And not
It's
only
trivial.
that, not only that, NASA does a lot, and I have to repeat, a lot more than stuff that has to do with space.
All of
travel.
NASA's money is spent on Earth, where Earth people do stuff. And it's also vital now for remote sensing. All of the NASA satellites and things that can spot droughts and plant characteristics and pollution matters. But of course, that's science material, and our little orphan Red's never going to pay attention to any of that.
Yeah,
And it's
no.
not just NASA that's doing this stuff. I'm not talking about other space agencies either. You have private companies doing stuff like this now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Plus the aliens.
Yeah.
And of course, the they.
Yes.
They do
See
an
them
awful
come
lot.
up with
Yeah,
a cool thing like the Dragon rocket.
they come over every once in a while, you know, and we have like wild parties, and then they go back to
Oh.
whatever they're doing.
Do you get
Can we
probed?
move on with the video, please? Get this bitch off the screen.
Nope.
Oh, dear.
I think I might just leave her there the entire time.
Yeah.
Every week. She might just be a fixture.
Well, that she has her expression for this is bullshit.
Yeah.
Yes, she's right. She is bullshit.
Yeah. So it's meta at this point.
Pretty much. Alright. Here we go.
Yippee.
$19 billion to a religious institution that's giving them information that requires blind
Snarky,
faith,
snarky.
then that's their
Drink
choice.
and
But if they're
answer.
being lied to and told that this is scientific, that this is truth, that these are facts, then that's not okay. First of all, everyone
And
assumes
yet to
that
prove
Cassini
that
sent
it's a
back
facade.
pictures, JPEG type, except raw file format that most people are probably not familiar with. So let's just stick with the analogy of JPEG. If, as a society, we value progress and blah blah blah.
Blah blah blah.
Shut up.
Oh, I forgot what I was going to say. I keep seeing my thermometer flashing, telling me my camera's about to shut off. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the Cassini spacecraft. Oh, is that what it's called? I should double check. The Cassini photographic satellite probe.
Is this our blooper
Not a
reel?
satellite. The Cassini photographic probe.
Yes, there we go.
And so NASA just shot it
Everything is.
into crash on Saturn, just destroyed on the gas giant because it was finished doing its job and it was now expendable. Because it had transmitted
releasing
all the
the
data
gas
back to
giant
Earth,
now.
everything that they kind of needed to know, wanted to know. But what's happening?
Also because of the limited amount of fuel.
Yes, Tornado?
There's also another reason. They didn't want to pollute any of the moons. They wanted to keep them clean and pristine. They didn't want to pollute the moons with potential bacterial issues, so that way if they do find life on Enceladus or Europa or things of that nature, and I know Europa's a moon of Jupiter, but hey, it still counts. They want to make sure that if they find life on those moons, that way it's not as a result of contamination. So that's why they steer them into the gas giants, to prevent contamination of the moons by having a wayward probe hit the damn thing.
Aha.
But of course, all of this.
Yeah. Alrighty, and Alright, let's continue on then.
How much
Oh,
longer do we
man.
have, by the way?
Way
We've
too
still
long.
got like 4 minutes.
Oh, yay! Now we'll get the science in the last 4 minutes.
Yes, of course.
So, in other words, to infinity and beyond.
Yeah. Countable infinity or uncountable infinity?
Just
Alrighty.
half. Just 0.5 infinity.
Oh,
The
okay.
limit as it approaches infinity.
Here we go, delay fish.
Man.
At Saturn when the Cassini spacecraft is taking an image. Is it a spacecraft? Yes, it is. That's the term we're going to use for this video. Because of I keep saying Cassini. I prefer a more
Airhead.
precise term, but I suppose the name of the spacecraft is more precise than just using the term spacecraft.
Character she's
Temperature. Reflectivity. What we're told happens is in the same way that the camera I'm using now is just basically a detector that detects.
Aren't we repeating
that
ourselves?
is not how it
Aren't we repeating ourselves? Aren't
That's
we
why I thought it
repeating
was
Before we
an
ask
overview,
ourselves
because she just
how
keeps-
information was sent through interplanetary space. Actually, let's start there, because when you think of Wi-Fi being beamed from a satellite and sending a signal from my cell phone to yours,
Drink.
Yeah, the
That
Wi-Fi
seems to
that
be-
we have parked out by Saturn. Yeah, sure,
Drink.
okay.
Just all the drink, because this bitch does not have
I can't
any
go any
idea.
higher than Jupiter's red spot.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, this is beyond word salad. This is word confetti.
Well, she's just going.
Yes,
she's just
there we
constantly
go.
going between the Aaaaaaalbers way of repeating herself, and Eric Dubé's so-called 200 proofs, but just not really 200 so-called proofs, but only a couple of them. But what do you call it? Reiterated? No,
Yeah.
not reiterated.
Yes,
told in a
reiterated.
different way every time.
This dumb bitch does not have any idea how Wi-Fi works. Gee, it's not like we have Wi-Fi in real life or anything. Oh wait, I do. That's why I have my adapter. I have a Wi-Fi adapter which lets me receive signals from the modem, which are, by the way, microwaves for radio waves. Very important there.
Okay, I gotta say something. I've been quiet about this because it gets a little bit into the technical weeds, but I'll
Technical
try to
weed?
be
Woo!
really brief about it. These radio signals that we're getting from Cassini probe and and the Voyager probes, and the ones that are outside the galaxy, the way we receive these waves, you would not even be able to detect them. It's all done through digital signal processing. It compares the noise level versus any kind of difference in other noise levels, and then it says, "Oh, I have a signal here." We do this in ham radio all the time. It's a couple different ways of
because they're really weak
transmitting
signals.
things like this, and it doesn't require a lot of power, but it does require that you have the antennas aimed at each other pretty good. Now, dealing with the distances, it acts as a cone effect, so it goes out. But then you have the inverse square law and a whole bunch of other things that I don't want to go into because people start dropping off the channel, and I'll probably have Jenny pop on and start snoring at me again. So.
Well, we had Microraptor in the chat who says, less orphan red, more red's rhetoric. And then Purple Rhymes with Orange says, is that a rhetorical statement? I'm glad at least the live chat can find some humor in this awful video.
Well, no one took me up on my clams introduction when I introduced it at the beginning of
Yeah, that's true.
And
night.
here's Orphan Red with more of her mode of, this is bullshit.
Yeah. RJ, you had your hand up?
Yeah, I think there actually is an educational value to this video. You show it to a person and ask them, did you understand what she said? Did you think she made sense and is telling you really relevant information? And any of those who say yes are obviously completely insane.
Well,
You're
more
not
like,
wrong.
did you understand what she said? Yes. Did any of it make sense to you? Fuck no.
Oh, it's hard even to the rambling sentences and structure is almost Trumpian. I mean, it's often incoherent. She's jumping from one topic to another, incomplete sentences at times. So and the fact that she's pulled this off now, we're looking at it effectively, what, 5 or 10 or more takes of the same kind of a spiel spliced together to make one long 25-minute video.
That's true.
Can we just say that, no, cameras don't have to be consciously observed for them to take an image. That's why we have weather cameras on high towers, so that we can see these things. And even if they're not consciously observed, they're still giving us images.
I wish I were not conscious while I was watching this.
Yeah.
So, sorry, Orphan Red, but you've been debunked.
Yeah.
I think we can wrap this video up here with this bitch just doesn't know how cameras work.
All right. Well, let's continue on.
An equivalency to Cassini beaming information down to NASA. But there's a really big difference
that's a
between
pretty
these two.
picture.
Because on Earth, there's an atmosphere. And so when you send waves, cell phone signals through the atmosphere, and then to the cell phone, the energy is propagated through the medium, through the air. But in
Yes, Tornado.
Okay. Who here knows one of the fundamental properties of radio waves?
I do.
Chris!
Oh, I think I know a little bit too.
I think Bo also knows because he's also an amateur radio operator. At the
So
frequency that they are being transmitted at, they're not affected by the atmosphere. They go through the atmosphere.
Exactly. The atmosphere is virtually transparent to these radio waves.
My
Of course
walls
they
are
are
virtually transparent.
attenuated
My
at
body
some
is
bit, 'cause-
transparent to radio waves.
So you see, you dumb bitch? Electromagnetic radiation doesn't work in the way you think it does.
Well, the little radio wave atoms are in little tiny bubbles, and they have to be floating along in the atmosphere. Otherwise, they can't get to the observer waiting for the lion to attack them.
Hey, RJ just gave me Tornado's new nickname.
Uh-oh.
Ooh,
Bubbles.
Bubbles! Yes, Mr. Mr. Bubbles.
Tornado will be forever
Our sweet
known
little
as
Mr. Bubbles.
Mr. Bubbles.
We'll call him Mr. Bubbles.
And
Mr.
Not
Mr.
Bubbles.
Bubbles
I'm
is back
thinking of a
from the
certain
Cobra.
turkey.
Yeah.
That was Biggles.
when,
but yeah.
when Mr.
And
Bubbles
we have,
punches
and
his
we have now
cobra.
had more amusement from that image than we have had from watching 20 minutes of this video.
Exactly. All right.
She looks
Let's
like
see
a
if
dog that just heard a noise it doesn't know.
we're almost through. We have 50
Almost.
seconds left.
Science is
You
about to
cheese.
impend.
Here we go, guys.
In interplanetary space, we're told there is no medium. There's no air. So through what
Hey,
are
the
the
Sepia
waves propagating?
Paladinos out there, damn
Well,
it.
through nothingness, according to science.
air.
But if they're not propagating through anything, then why are they behaving as a wave? Because they're not actually encountering any resistance or friction.
Can we wait,
So-
let's just finish it up and then we'll get to any
There's
points.
nothing. I think that is too complex an issue to go into in this YouTube video. But if you're interested in discussing that, let me know, and maybe I'll make a future video
Yeah,
on that particular topic.
she's saving all of that for her Nobel Prize announcement lecture.
Yeah.
Drink.
Hey,
Is that like J.M.
pause?
Truth's Masters of Science and pamphlet making?
Yeah.
I would like to address her not even stupid argument here. The best possible and very, very simple way of explaining why it would be to, go into a dark room or just wait until it's nighttime, then, I don't know, light up a candle, take a piece of paper, and hold it up, an inch or two from the candle. On the side of it, you don't want to burn the paper, and just just visually, just look at, sorry, what was it? Consciously observe the amount of light, hitting that sheet of paper. Then move that piece of paper a meter away from it, or 1 foot away from it. Look at it again and see, oh, hey, hang on. Why isn't there as much light on it as before, I wonder? That's the best way of showing it, or, visualizing it. Never mind the fact that we're using highly focused antennas, at both ends of this transmission. Yeah. Fucking hell.
I think Tornado had something to add.
Well, yes, I do. We call them both particles and waves. They're really both at the same time. A photon behaves as both a particle and a wave at the same time, as in they carry a specific energy, specific wavelength, specific frequency, and all that sort of jazz. But even still, they're affected by gravity. So a photon will travel a straight line through three-dimensional space, but it'll fall into gravitational wells and therefore be affected in that sort of way, which is why we can see a star look to be in a different place than it really is whenever there's a solar eclipse. And this is how we actually confirmed general relativity, and there's been more ways to confirm general relativity, but that's not the point. The point is that
We had one of those?
even if you don't have a medium for light to propagate through, light will still propagate, because light is a form of radiation. It's not a sound wave, which requires air. It's a form of radiation, as in it radiates out from the source in all directions. Gamma rays can propagate through space without losing intensity for much the same reason. So, sorry, Orphan Red, but if you want to dispute all of known all we know about electromagnetic radiation and all we know about modern technology as it stands today, if you want to dispute all that, then you need to get yourself a degree in physics. But you won't
She
do
would
that
abuse
because
it
that
anyway.
requires actual learning, which you're obviously against.
True.
So,
That's true.
Orphan Red, here's my advice to you. First, learn what
Get a life.
evidence is, and second, get some.
Yeah.
Don't get some of Tornado's Cobra, though.
Or
Alright.
Cobra.
Alrighty, well, shall we wrap up? Does anybody have any final thoughts?
About this, or just can we?
In general, and your
in
chilling.
Here.
My brain has been more or less transformed into mush.
He is the same species as Galileo.
You can all do your shilling as well. I know RJ and Chris usually shill.
Oh, that's because we're greedy little bastards.
Like a book
No.
or 2 or 3 or 5. No.
Well,
RJ, do you have books and things?
Oh, I do have books and things. I will
Oh.
even put on my magic camera
Ooh, look at
and
that.
hold
Look
up
at
for
the
everyone
RJ
to see.
simulation.
The Rocks Were There,
Woohoo.
which is a tiny little book that you can use as a doorstop or bang it over the heads of creationists that you don't like. Jackson Wheat, who has a charming picture on the back of here, is my co-author. We shall be working on volume 2. It is a book that has oodles of documentation and makes a great many creationists look like what they are, which is effing idiots.
Hey, RJ?
Yeah.
Those rocks that were there, did they have googly eyes on them, or I mean, were
Not
they
a
able
single
to,
one of the geological deposits that I've read technical papers
So-
on had
so
any
we-
googly eyes at all, I
Well,
must
that's
say.
disappointing.
But that
Or
means
any
we can't
lines
trust
and
them.
taggers
Then.
Yeah,
and
because there was no independent observer to watch the googly eyes. I get it. Yeah. But you will learn about the stupidness of John Woodmarapp and Andrew Snelling and Richard or David Menton, and you'll find out about giant layers of little teeny bug body carcasses that are in the Green River, and you'll find out about catastrophic flooding of the Mediterranean Sea when the world's greatest waterfall existed across the Strait of Gibraltar, and you'll find out about biology and making of feathers and paleontology and genetics and orphan genes and the genetic code. There's a shitload of stuff in this book.
But it's such a tiny book. How can it all fit?
It's a little itty bitty book, as opposed to Standing for Truth, who has a great big book that's like this thick
Well,
with no
we're
index.
very
I
glad.
think, I think our index is longer.
Yeah.
The index of the reference bibliography is longer than his book.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, and
Yeah.
just going by the the physicists, how the one whose name should not be mentioned anytime soon, RJ. How many times in those books that you have made and in damn it, with I can't speak anymore, co-authored, damn it. How many times have you referenced yourself in those books?
Oh, there's a few times where we've referenced some of the previous book that I'd written, and also some of the postings that I had at Tip, but it's a small amount. The biggest amount of stuff that we're referencing are technical papers from the actual scientists. There's a huge amount on feathered theropods and stuff like that, and masses of creationist literature, because our argument is you let them speak, have them say their argument, and we look at the whole arguments that they make, and then we show that their sources don't say what they claim they do, and they misrepresent and bullshit and just imagine Orphan read with footnotes. That's what creationists try to do.
I'm sure there are some of her fans that also have a foot fetish, so
Yeah.
careful.
Well, that's another matter entirely. Yes.
But
Those
I'm
are different
trying
kind
to
of
say
footnotes.
that all the references that you make sure to put in your books, they actually go somewhere where people can
You don't reference your
confirm
earlier.
the
You don't
claims
reference
that
your
you
own
use.
book,
Like-
do you?
It's very small print.
Yes.
Ooh.
You didn't even double space those sentences.
Yeah. It's we in fact had to shrink the reference bibliography down to 6-point pitch, because we
Jeez.
were pushing over the maximum size of a book that we could publish through CreateSpace at
Oh
Amazon.
man.
The exact opposite way to do it when you you know you
trying to
get
write a paper.
you get an assignment in high school or something, and you have to use at least 80 pages or something.
Yep. Oh, please, we would milk it like nobody's business. I mean, we would have that thing double spaced, you know, as big of a font as possible, and
we had to actually split the book in half because we were reaching the stage where we're going, this thing is actually going to be quite massive, because we were dealing with 4 different Answers in Genesis books that we were demolishing. And I said, yeah, maybe we should put this into a volume 1, volume 2, which worked fine because we were literally at the end of that big geology chapter that became chapter 7. We realized, yeah, if we cut it here for volume 1, bingo, we basically got that book done, and we can go ahead and get it into the works. So then we can put up volume 2 later. So anyway, it keeps us busy.
yes.
And the more people that have it, the more useful it can be, because there's a lot of new shit. The new volume will pick up where the other one left off, and technical material that's relevant to the points that we brought up in volume 1. We'll be putting reprise chapters to bring you up to speed for the 2020 technical literature.
Oh, good.
Mm-hmm.
We're pretty damn good with things.
Well, I also forgot to mention earlier in my list of things, you know, the video I'm working on with the Scott Manley interview. Sean and I also went out last week and did, attempted to do our observations that we had been talking about. We took the drones out to the beach, and we went with Jesse Kozlowski, who's also on YouTube for anybody that's not familiar. And he took the ferry across the water with the GPS tracker on it, on his vehicle on the ferry, and we were gonna put the drone up and watch the ferry go out over the horizon with the P900 and the drone and all this kind of stuff. We had big plans, right? We packed up all our gear. We went out super early in the morning, and apparently there was just a giant fog bank across the entire horizon the entire day.
Demons again.
So
go ahead.
So what you're saying is that no birds were injured or close to being injured.
Actually, they were.
photographed during-
Yeah, I was gonna say. Actually, yeah, we still took up the smaller drones. So we brought all 3 of the drones. We brought the Spark, which is the real tiny one. We brought my Mavic 2 Pro, which is bigger but not as big, but much more expensive and scary to lose. And we brought the Wakira, of course, which is huge.
And very expensive.
Yeah, we didn't wind up taking the Wakira up at all because of the wind and the bird situation.
Well, the birds weren't the big deal, because the big issue was the Wakira had enough battery power for 1 flight.
Right.
So we had to make sure that we didn't have the fog had lifted, which it never did the entire frickin' day.
Oh, and you only have 1 pack?
I only have 1 battery for the Walkira, so I've got a 15-minute window to fly it in. And because of the fog, there was no point in putting that up in the air. So we sent the Spark up a bunch of times. We sent the Mavic 2 up twice.
Well, so the Spark, the Seagulls didn't seem to bother with. They seemed to stay away. It was
too small for it.
Yeah, it was too small for them to be upset about. The Mavic was a different story. I feel like they were definitely gearing
More
up
interested.
toward that. Yeah, I don't know if they got because a couple times they got close, and the sensors were going off saying, hey, there's something object incoming kind of thing. And I'm not sure if the Seagulls noticed that the breeze from the propellers scared them off before they attacked it, or if they just thought better of it. But there was a few times where they got very close. It could be the noise as well. But yeah, there was a few times they got very close.
Yeah, as far as I remember, those specific drones, except for the Valkyria perhaps. No, that one too. Use brushless motors.
Yeah.
And if you use a cheap cheap electronics for it, they tend to emit a somewhat high-pitched squeal. Mm-hmm. That could potentially scare them off when they get close enough.
Sure the hell didn't scare off that robin.
Well,
yeah. By the way,
Robin
how bad was that robin?
Trying to,
how badly did that
protect
robin
its
get
young?
destroyed?
It was being held together left loosely by a piece of skin that was left that didn't get hacked in half.
Yeah. But either way, we did go and try to do some things and stuff, but we were
This is the top result.
What? No, Google, go
Yeah,
away.
if I may make an observation,
But yeah, we were unfortunately unsuccessful.
Hey Google, buy me that car we looked at yesterday.
Yeah. It only answers
do you
to
do
have
you
an
realize
Alexa as
how
well?
difficult you and Sean and all the other drone operators are making life for the interstellar space aliens? I mean, first they had to avoid all the people with brownie cameras, and then they had to
Yeah.
avoid all the people with mini cams and cell phone cameras and the like. And now they've got to avoid all of you drone people. You are just terrible with these.
you know-
You're scaring all the space aliens away.
I
You really
know.
And
don't like them,
Bigfoot
though.
and all of that.
Hey, I think all the flat earthers have been doing that for ages already.
Yeah.
No one does it
Uh,
out here.
Let me just pull this up real quick. Give me 1 second. Doop-a-doop-a-doo.
While you're doing that, can I show?
What do you want to show?
I think he said
Game
shill,
of
but
Fools. It's going to be on tomorrow night, 10:45 Eastern Time. That's 11 p.m. And a bunch of us from the panel here make fools of ourselves playing games. Last week we did a bunch of Jackbox games, and one of us almost rage quit. But then we, I don't know if we're going to do Jackbox again or a Cards Against Humanity or what have you, but we'd love to have people there. We actually had 2 people watching last week, which was a 100% increase over the previous week, which is good.
well, keep up that
uh,
streak.
If we get more, and I'm posting the link for the channel in the chat right now. So love to see you guys come on over, and any panel member who wants to join, just give Shadow a bop on the on Twitter, and
On the Twitter?
Yeah. Well, Twitter's primary interface as far as people who don't have a Facebook page. Like me.
Right.
So
Well, that sounds like a good plan, Chris. Thank you for that. I did just want to play this video real quick. This was Jesse Kozlowski's video, who again was on the ferry, just to show the amount of fog that there was. So I turned off
And
the
when I get-
sound, but
When I get permission from Jesse, which I haven't talked to since this all happened, yeah, this will be part of my actual edited video.
well, I did
describe
get
what the hell is
permission
going
from
on.
him, so. But yeah, this is the amount of fog that we had to deal with, which was quite heavy, as you can see.
Too bad.
Well, we can't really see any
Wait till
fog
she-
at the moment.
Yeah, play a little bit.
You can just see a cockpit, well, bridge. Right?
Yeah, you have to hit the little play button.
I did. Did it not play?
No.
No, it is not
Interesting.
playing. It is a still picture. We can tell because flags do not
Interesting.
normally remain not moving.
Hold on. Let me hit transition again. Interesting. Why is it
it's
not
all
moving?
CGI.
Yeah,
T.
yeah.
T.
Excuse me.
Hold on.
Every single little particle of fake water vapor was digitally created.
Yep.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, that's
But,
how
but
it
ju-
works.
just to rub it in, my members actually have 4 unedited videos from that day. 2 from the P900 and 2 others just when we were playing around with the drones.
Yeah. Well, I didn't get to put them all in a video yet, but I did get permission from Jesse to use this video. So let's see. All right, that should work now. Here we go. There we go. Is it playing? Yes,
Yes.
it is playing.
Yep.
There we
Glad to see they made sure that the 2 radars are rotating
Whoa.
at different speeds.
But yeah,
Well,
there
there's
was
some
go.
fog.
There was-
there
Could
we
have
go.
been
Now we got
worse,
some good
but-
fog
quite
going
some
there.
some thick fog there, to say the least.
Well, not quite pea soup. I've seen worse than that advantage along the Columbia, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
but
was.
this
it's
is-
enough that makes your droney stuff. Yeah, you can see blue skies in that. That's
Yeah.
just a light mist, but not good enough for your drone to work.
No, unfortunately not.
At least you got radar in there, so you got that.
Yeah.
What kind of interference pattern are they making?
Anyway, I guess I think I'll take off.
All right. Well, yes, that is about
Yeah,
it.
as
If,
well.
you know,
I will
like-
just say, cute little pug and little kitty
Yes.
pirate.
There we go. I was waiting for that.
I'm gonna head off because I'm starting to
Would
get
that-
Bye.
tired.
Good
Would
night,
that be a
Tornado.
pycat?
Yes, that is a pycat.
I'm gonna rename myself to just regular tornado pelt, and then I'm gonna head off.
Alrighty.
See
But
you
yeah, that's
tomorrow
about
night,
all we
Tornado.
got.
Will do.
you know,
Good
Sean-
night, everybody.
Good night, Tornado.
Good night.
As Sean mentioned, you know, his members do have access to those drone videos that we haven't published into an actual video yet. So go check those out if you're a member of his, or become one if you're not already, if you so feel inclined. And yeah, I think that's about all that we have for the evening. Off to work again in a few hours. Yay!
Not me. Haha. 2 days
Oh,
off.
zip it. I have 2 days off, but not the same 2 days as
Loading
you.
up a bunch of operating systems on computers tonight. So
Ooh, fun.
Oh, one more announcement.
Yes.
I will be changing over to first shift here in the next week or two.
Yes.
So my attendance here at movie night may be curtailed.
Indeed. All right. Well, have a good evening, everybody. Thank you again so much for coming. I appreciate. Ooh, I have the hiccups. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I really do. You guys make movie night what it is. So thank you all. I hope you all had fun, and say good night, panel.
Good
night,
night,
panel.
panel. Sorry for the brain aneurysms. Oh.